Good morning, everybody. We are going to talk to you a little bit about the new safety protocols for COVID and what you need to know coming into the building. So to start with, this is something that we talked about at the safety refresher. I know that Al talked to you all about it, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about it and make sure that everybody is all set with it, and that is self-certifying. The self-certify form is located on the district website. It will be sent to you every day in an email, and I know that a lot of you are getting it that way. I know I get my self-certify form via email every day. That being said, if for some reason you can't locate it in your email, you can go to www.shennet.org, click on the purple staff icon, and it'll be the first thing on the top of the page. It is titled Daily Self-Certify Form for All Staff. Click on that link and fill out the form. Every employee in the district has to fill out the self-certify form every day. Fill it out at least 1 hour prior to the start of your shift. You don't want to fill it out at night before, because what if you wake up sick? Just fill it out before you come to work, and then you won't have to worry about it. You know, you get up in the morning, if you don't feel good, fill it out, call into work, let Belinda know or whoever happens to be answering the phone. You have to complete a self-certify form for each building that you work in. So if you only work in transportation, then you only need to fill it out once. If you work in transportation and another building, then you would need to fill it out twice. The responses get sent to the directors or principals in each building, and they check to see who has submitted one and who has not. This helps to maintain a healthy working environment, and it helps for tracking COVID and contact tracing. So when you go to www.shennet.org, once you click on that link, you're going to come to the resources for staff, the purple link. Click on the purple link. That will bring you to the daily self-certify form for all staff. You'll click on the blue underlined self-certification form, and then that will bring you to the Shen employee self-certify form, and this is the actual form that you will fill out every day. Starting with this screen, you would click next and answer the questions from there until you get to the green thumbs up versus the red thumbs down. So if all the answers are no, and you're feeling good and feeling everything is good, please follow social distancing guidelines and enjoy campus responsibly. You're going to get the little green thumbs up guy, hit the submit button, and send it in. If you get the red frowny guy with a thumbs down, make sure you call dispatch and let us know, and submit that form, and we'll take it from there. Now I'm going to turn you over to Lisa for a slide.
Hello everyone. I'm going to talk to you about more new protocols. So we have signing in and out of the building. When you come into the building for your scheduled work, you're going to either pick up your key if you're a driver, or if you're an attendant, you're going to come to the window and make eye contact with one of us, wave, say hello, so that we know you're in the building. We will check you in on our Google Doc on our computer. We used to have it on a clipboard. It was like 20 sheets of paper. We'd have to flip back and forth to find your name on the sheet. We are no longer going to do that. We are going to check you in on the computer. Your block times will be next to your name, so we will know what times you are at work. So you're just going to check in with us, and there will be no signing in or signing out of the building. If you're a substitute, you need to come to the window and look at the AM and PM clipboards on the counter and sign in for your work. When you're done with your run, please make sure that you put your time out on the substitute clipboard. This is your time card, so you have to be accurate with your time out, and you have to sign it. Your name will be on the clipboard and the time that you are to report. So you just need to put your ending time and then your signature, because that will be your time card. If you need to come in the building for any other reason other than for scheduled work, you must call us first before you come in. This is not optional. We have to account for who is in the building, so we will tell you where and when to come in and sign in. If it's something that can be handled with an email, please email us. We will get back to you ASAP. The less you can come into the building and the less contact you have with everyone, the better off you are. This will help limit personal contact, and remember, if you have not self-certified that day, you must self-certify before entering the building.
So we talked a little bit about signing in and signing out, and this goes along with that. This is the new sub clipboard. Some of you, my subs that have been here for many years, remember the old sub sheets, AM and PM sheets that you used to sign in and out of, or you would check your work to see what you're doing that day. Well, this is along the same lines as that. So this is the new sub clipboard. As you can see on the left, we have perm school on hybrid, remote, closed. If you're a permanent driver or attendant and your school has gone on a hybrid schedule, for example, we can look at Gordy Smith. He's listed as Wednesdays only. Your name will be listed there. On the days when your school is on their hybrid remote schedule, you would report to work here at the assigned time listed next to your name on this part of the sub schedule. You'll check your start time and what employee you're covering for and the bus number. Sign this sheet, and when you return from the run, put the end time in, and a supervisor will initial your time. If you're a regular sub or attendant, you'll locate your name. For example, we can see on the sub attendants, Karen Fine's start time is 12:45. So Karen will be here at 12:45 on this day. She is covering for Laura Evans in bus number 72. You'll notice there's no end time. When you come in from your run, you put down your end time. It must be initialed by a supervisor. This form is going to take the place of time cards for subs and for drivers that are subbing in lieu of their own run or the run that they bid that is on a hybrid schedule or has gone completely remote learning.
Okay, so if you have a student that gets sick on the bus or tells you they're not feeling well, you need to call dispatch so we can arrange for the school nurse to meet your bus and take the student into the building. You are no longer allowed to send a sick student into the building on their own or even accompanied by a friend. That is now a thing of the past, and a nurse needs to escort the student from the bus into the building. If it's possible, you can try to isolate the student until the nurse can assist that student off the bus. If a student gets sick on the bus, the same protocol applies. A nurse will come to the bus to get the student. You are still required to clean your bus and dispose of all of the garbage after cleaning. If you do not have time to clean your bus, just like in the past, you will have to give us a note, call dispatch, and we will swap out your bus with a clean one, and it will be waiting for you when you return. Now, if you drive for a private school and you have a sick student, the rules are a little different. Some of the private schools will be taking temperatures at the bus stop or at the school when you get there. So you're going to need to wait for the school to determine if the students are going into the building or are being sent back home on the bus. They're going to take temperatures. If a student on the bus has a temperature, it is our understanding that they're sending the entire bus load back home. So be patient because the schools have never done this before, and neither have we. We're not sure how long this is going to take, and it's going to be trial and error as we have never done anything like this before. So, in the event that you get to a school and you are told no, your students cannot go into the building, you're going to call us immediately and let us know that you will be taking all of those students back home. So, let us know, because we need to cover the other part of your run, because you're never going to be able to get back in time to do that. So you need to let us know. And if you have students from private schools that must return to their home, they normally might ride an AM transfer bus. You might have gotten them not from their home but from somewhere else, so you don't know where they live. We will give you directions on how to get them home. You also need to give us the names of all the students on the bus. so that we can call all the parents and make arrangements for them to be home to get the student. Under no circumstances are you to reveal the name of the ill student over the radio or to anyone at any time. We just need the names of each student that you have on board so we can determine the best course of action for you to return those students to home.
All right, so now we're going to talk about mandatory seating charts. And I know that Al went over this a little bit at our safety meeting, but we're just here kind of reinforcing, reminding everybody. So because of the pandemic and contact tracing and all those rules, all students from kindergarten to seniors will need an assigned seat on your bus. It's critical that you enforce the seating chart and do not deviate from it. If a student tests positive for COVID, the health department will have us start the contact tracing process. And this involves looking at seating charts, attendance records, and mask wearing. The seating chart must be implemented on the first day of school. I would write the seat numbers next to their name on the outline. As they board the bus, you say good morning and tell them where their seat is. This also helps with students trying to find a seat on the first day and having a hard time making a decision on what seat they want to sit in. And lastly, everyone always wants their own spot on the bus, and this way it's already set up for them. They go to the seat that they have been assigned. Remember, seats are subject to change due to behavior, but as soon as you change a seat, the seating chart needs to be updated as soon as possible. And as soon as you update it, it is extremely important that you give a copy to dispatch to put on file. We absolutely must have the correct information to give to New York State should the need arise. We all must make sure we're using caution and performing all of the necessary required tasks that are asked of us to keep everyone safe and have the most up-to-date information. Try to resist the urge we all have at times to be nice to our students by letting them sit with a friend because their seatmate is not on the bus that day. This is a big time no-no. We can't do that this year, folks. It's too dangerous of a game, so you must stick to the plan and enforce it.
All right, attendance sheets and face mask checks. So we are going to take attendance every day, every route, AM, noon, and PM. This is mandated for contact tracing purposes. All the attendance sheets need to be filled out as neatly as possible. The sheets will be turned into dispatch and kept on file in the event the health department needs us to contact trace. All attendance sheets need to be signed and dated. We need to keep track of who wears a mask and who doesn't. So there's a spot on the attendance sheet to check if the student is wearing or not wearing a mask. Again, very important information that we need to document for contact tracing purposes. The health department requires this information. If a student is not wearing a mask, ask if they have one. If they do, ask them to put it on. If they don't have a mask, you can offer them one. If the student refuses to wear a mask, please report the name of the student to dispatch when you get back, and we will call the building principal and make them aware of the situation. Please don't argue with the student. Just make a note of it and let us know when you get back.
All right. Cleaning the bus. Who's responsible for cleaning the bus? The drivers and attendants are responsible for cleaning their bus, as they always have in the past. The only difference is that you will be wiping down high-touch areas such as handrails, the tops of seats, and any other frequently touched area. This should be done between runs if the time is permitting. The bare minimum would be wiping the handrail as much as possible. Garbage should be emptied every day, and added cleaning will take place on each bus at the end of your AM, noon, and PM runs. The buses will be sprayed with Q128 after your bus is parked in the compound. You'll be cleaning the bus with Q128 as well, which we will provide to you. And many of you, I believe, have already gotten the spray bottle and the rags. If you have not, the garage currently has spray bottles with Q128, and the rags are located on the bookshelf in the hallway between the two restrooms. So it's in a spray bottle. The rags are available on that bottom shelf of the bookcase by the water fountain. The rags that you pick up are disposable, so when you're done with it, you can toss it out and get a new one. When your spray bottle starts to get low, bring the bottle to the dispatch window and we'll take the old one and give you a new one. Give a bottle, get a bottle. You're cleaning the bus after you drop off at each route. Again, you're wiping down the high-touch areas. Some blocks have time already built into them for cleaning time, and other runs have had 15 minutes added to them. So the answer to this question is yes. You will be cleaning your bus and you have time to do this.
Okay, this brings us to bathroom breaks at the school. Yes, you are allowed to use the bathrooms in the school buildings. This should only be for emergencies only. It's not a part of your daily routine. If you need to use the bathroom, we highly suggest you come back to transportation and use the restrooms here, because you will be required to have your Shen ID badge on you if you need to enter a school building. There will be a sign in and sign out area. It is not feasible to think that this will be a quick process. You will be waiting in a sign in or sign out line. You may be required to wear a visitor's badge. Each school may be a little different. The days of walking directly to the bathroom are a thing of the past. There are non-public schools that are not allowing any drivers into their buildings for a restroom break, so please try to plan accordingly. This will most certainly take more time than before. It will be a trial and error process, and the first few weeks of school will be chaotic, so keep this in mind when timing your personal needs.
So now let's talk a little bit about email and electronic forms. So you now know that email is our main avenue of communication, or hopefully most of you know this. We send you all the information that you need via your email, and that would be your Shen Schools email. It's very important that you get into the habit of checking your Shen School email at least once a day. Failure to check your email can result in you missing meetings, any district changes, or any new information from the district or us specifically. If we send you information and you don't respond to it in a timely manner or show up for a scheduled appointment or meeting, then that's going to be solely on you. We want to try to avoid this situation, so we've tried to work to make sure that everybody has access to and is able to navigate this new form of communication. If you know someone that is having difficulty, people, or requires assistance, please have them give us a telephone call so we can help them have access to all the information they need so that they can keep up to date on all of these crazy changes. The following forms are electronic. The self-certify form daily is electronic, and I already told you where you can find that is at www.shennet.org. Click on Departments and Services, go to the bottom, click on Transportation, and you will find all of that stuff, the self-certify forms in that area. And I'm sorry, let me correct myself. The self-certify form, you click on the purple Staff tab, and that will bring you to the daily self-certify form, and you will click on the link there, and that link will bring you to our self-certify form. And the absence forms were sent to you via an email from Anastasia. If anyone is missing their absence form and they don't have the electronic version, please shoot us an email and let us know, or give us a call and we will resend it to you. And there may be more forms available this way in the future. So as I said, the self-certify form is available on the district website. Click on staff in the purple rectangle. It's at the very top of the page. The self-certify form is also emailed to you daily. Belinda emails it to you as well as the district. The absentee forms have been emailed to you via Anastasia. You need to make sure that you're saving these emails that you receive that have important links attached to them. If you need help bookmarking the links to these forms for easy access, give us a call and we can try to help you before Monday. If you're tech savvy, you can Google it. But if not, please don't hesitate to give us a call.
Okay, standby. Standby will be very similar to how it was in the past. There will be socially distanced areas to sit at in the lounge. You may also need to sit in the hallway by one of the computers. It is a limited capacity situation. You may even have to sit in your car. It depends on how many people we have on standby and what the day looks like. If you are a substitute, you will find all of your assigned work and show up times on the clipboards on the dispatch counter. You are still required to check them every day and initial them for the next day so that we know that you're either coming into work or you're not available for work. If you're unable to work on any given day, please submit an absentee form online so we can adjust our work assignments accordingly.
Loading at the bus stop. When you arrive at your stops, students will board your bus spaced apart. One student will walk up the stairs and you'll check them in on your attendance sheet. Then you're going to check the box to note if they're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. If they're not wearing one, ask them if they have one. If they do, ask them to put it on. If they don't have one, you can offer them one to wear if they don't have one. Then give them their seat assignment. When they pass the first set of seats, the next student may board the bus, take attendance, check the mask box, give them their seat assignment, and when they pass the first set of seats, then the next student boards, and so on. Attendance sheets will be in your mailbox and they need to be turned into dispatch every 2 weeks. We'll keep the attendance records on file for contact tracing. All attendance sheets need to be signed by the driver, and please be sure to turn them into dispatch every 2 weeks.
Okay, staggered bus ports in the morning. What does it look like? AM buses will be unloading in small groups. That doesn't mean we're just pulling 5 buses into the bus port at one time. Fill the bus port like you ordinarily would, and they will probably start unloading the very first 5 buses in line. The bus doors need to remain closed until a bus port monitor comes to your bus and gives you the okay to unload. When you pull into the bus port and park, the students need to remain seated. They are no longer allowed to line up in the aisle. They have to remain in their seats. You will dismiss the students seat by seat from the front row to the back row, student by student, maintaining social distancing or 6 feet apart. When you are done unloading and the students are past you on the bus port, you may leave the bus port when it is safe to do so. When you leave the bus port, pull over in a safe area and wipe down the commonly touched areas before you continue on to your next run. Please remember to be patient. This is very new to all the staff and students alike, and it's going to take time to successfully transition to a new routine. Staggered bus port in the afternoon. All the buses need to be lined up at their designated time. It will be very difficult to load the buses as efficiently as possible if they're late to the school. The school staff will bring students out 1 bus load at a time or 1 grade level at a time. This decision has been left up to the building principals on how they want to handle their dismissal procedures. The students will need to remain socially distanced or 6 feet apart on the bus ports and while boarding the PM bus. Students should go directly to their seat after being checked in on the attendance sheet, and they must sit down. There is no loitering in the aisles to socialize. The school staff will be loading about 4 to 5 buses at a time, and once the bus is loaded and students are accounted for, the bus may depart when it is safe to do so.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about notes from routing. A couple of things. Some of these things Al went over with you at our safety refresher a few weeks ago, but we want to touch base again to make sure that we're all on the same page. So the non-public shuttle points have been moved from Gowanna to Shattuckon. There will no longer be any non-public transfers at Gowanna. They will all be done at Shattuckon. The UTS routes, where students used to transfer at the Gowanus shuttle point, have been eliminated completely. So there are absolutely no UTS routes. Daycare routes have been added at each school instead. Elementary bus routes have not changed. Daycare is a set schedule, so as always, remember to check your day variance on your outlines to make sure that students are riding on the correct days. This is not a change from any other year. This is the same as always. Just really important, and we try to drive it home as much as possible. Please check your day variance on a daily basis, and especially like if there's a Monday holiday, you want to make sure that the next day you got all the kids for your Tuesday schedule. Middle school students have primarily a set schedule. Some exceptions have been made where a middle school student was allowed the quote-unquote Friday day variant. If you don't understand about the allowed Friday day variant, write your question down now and give us a call after you get done going through this presentation. But these Friday day variants, these allowed Friday day variants, have been marked on your outline in the transportation comments. High school students again have the Friday day variant to ride between households, and this will be noted on your outline. Both high school and middle school will have some riders that will be riding all 5 days. Again, this is noted on your outline. That being said, there is going to be a change in this schedule. So 5 days will apply mostly to middle school, and I'll explain when I get a little bit further down the road here. So if you have a wheelchair bus, wheelchair logs will still be used and given to you in a folder just like they were last year. Bus stop changes will not be made by routing unless there is a safety concern. Very important. There will be no convenience stop changes. In other words, if a student has a walk that looks like it's pretty far, please remember that it is the parent's responsibility to get them to and from that bus stop, and it is not your responsibility. We also need you to remember that many students have been opting in and out of transportation. So you might have stops that are listed on your outline, but no students at the stops. Routing is not going to move these stops because of this. There are too many students to keep up with all of this. The same goes for middle school and high school stops. Students will be riding on alternate days, and we can't move from day to day to accommodate. So please do not suggest bus stop changes to parents. So now we're going to talk a little bit about this schedule. As you can see what I have up here, this is just a sample of what we have for this month in September. And you can see on the first day of school, the 14th, is an A day. This is a change. This is a change in plans from what was originally put out regarding the schedule for 7th through 12th grade. So this is how it will look each week. There is no more rotating schedule. That being said, dispatch will have each month from September through January, because these calendars go at this point up until January, and then there's nothing from February on. You will check on the dispatch window, and that will be posted, so you will know whether it's an A day or a B day. That being said, you're also going to notice Wednesday is a V day. This is a virtual learning day for 7th through 12th grade. Since 6th grade will be attending 5 days a week, middle school drivers in attendance will be working. Elementary is also 5 days a week, so all elementary drivers in attendance will be working. BOCES students are 5 days a week, so all BOCES drivers will still be working. So on Wednesdays, the virtual learning day, there will be no big bus high school drivers unless for some unknown reason there is a BOCES transfer on your bus. If you have a BOCES transfer, then you would have to come in that day to bring that student in to catch their correct bus to go to BOCES. This also does not include small bus drivers for high school. These students probably are still going to be attending. As a matter of fact, they are going to be attending. However, they have a shortened day. So as of right now, just remember that some of these students may attend on Wednesday. Again, the calendar will be posted on the dispatch glass, and you will be able to view it there. And as always, again, if you have any questions about this, please give us a call prior to Monday.
All right, everyone, that was a lot of information. I know your head is spinning, our heads are spinning as well. It's a lot of new changes. But our new favorite word here is fluid during the pandemic. So everything is in a constant state of adapt and change. And as new information becomes available to us, we readjust our plans and we accommodate as best we can. Just remember to take one day at a time. This will be difficult for everyone, as we can only ask you can please do the best that you can. And just breathe. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do to change it at this point. And remember, we are in this together, so we will find our way through it together.
And we are Shen Strong. We've got this. So again, everybody, if you have any questions, we'll be glad to help you answer them. Just give us a phone call here. And just like Lisa said, everything is changing. As a matter of fact, things changed even while we were in the middle of giving this presentation. We got some corrections. So give us a call and we'll get you straightened out as much as we can be straightened out. Have a great day.
See you later.